Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today we are going to check out Van Dieman's Tasmania ink collection. So this is their new Tasmania ink collection where they have done recreations of the 10 original inks, and then they have added 4 new shimmer inks, and they so generously sent me their collection. They sent me 2 full bottles. I got to pick the colors and then samples of the rest of the collection. So we are going to unbox my samples and my bottles, and then we are going to swatch out this collection and check it out together. So I'm going to just open everything up and then we will start swatching. So here we have the Tasmania collection, and then they also sent me 2 other ink samples, so we will swatch those out and check them out as well. I really love Van Dieman's ink, so I was really excited when they offered to send these to me so I could share them with you guys, and also really excited because they provided a code to me to share with you guys so that you guys can save 25% off of a full order when you order from Van Dieman's ink. So if you use the code justscribble, you'll get 25% off of your order. This offer is just valid one time per customer, so definitely add everything that you're wanting from Van Dieman's ink. You can check out my other shares of Van Dieman's ink too to make sure that you capture everything in your list, and then you'll save 25% on your order. So definitely use that code, and I'll put it down in the description box as well so you can check it out. So these are the 2 inks that I picked to get full bottles of. This one is Snowy Mountain Sunset, and when they shared this on Instagram, I knew I had to get this ink. So immediately when they offered to send me a full bottle of an ink from this collection, I jumped at this one. It was my very first pick. But then they told me that I could pick another one. And so the second ink I picked was Cradle Mountain because I was really intrigued by the pictures that I saw of this ink. So those are the 2 inks that I got full bottles of. And then we have samples here. So I'm gonna take all the samples out of these little baggies and set them up, and then we will swatch. Okay, so I have laid out the inks here in the order that I have written them down. This is a Cosmo Air Light notebook, and that's what we're going to use to swatch. So I put them in order so I wouldn't mix up any of the inks, and they did send me samples of the entire collection. So I actually got samples of these 2 as well. So I have all 14 inks here. I'm actually not going to swatch out from these samples because I did get full bottles. I'll swatch from the full bottles, and I'm actually going to keep these to use in an upcoming giveaway. So a lucky winner will win those in an upcoming giveaway, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. But I'm going to grab my automatic pen. These are most commonly found in the UK, but there are some shops that carry them online, and then there are some alternatives if for some reason the automatic pen is out of stock. I'll put links down below to this collection and Van Dieman's website and the code so you can save 25%, but I will also put links to purchase one of these pens from a shop that's in the US that I like to shop from in case you're looking for an automatic pen. It is my favorite thing to swatch with. So I'm actually going to, I guess I'm going to start here. So there are 4 shimmer inks: Queenstown Gold, Icy Great Lake, Snowy Mountain Sunset, and Autumn Mornings. So I'm going to swatch the non-shimmer inks first, just so that I don't contaminate my water too much. And then we'll go back and we will swatch out the others. These are really nice full samples, which is nice. Automatic pen is acting up. I'm gonna actually switch. I have 2 of them. I'm gonna switch to the other one. I might need to clean that one. I'm gonna use this one instead. They're the same size. I'm gonna get a nice wet swatch so we can see shading and sheening and all of the things. I kind of went over that a few times extra, more than I planned to. This is Leatherwood Honey. Next one is called Bass Straight. This is a beautiful blue color. We're going to skip this one because it's a shimmer. We're going to do Bay of Fires. Look at that red. Oh, so pretty. I love the colors of these inks. I love that they are handcrafted. I just love everything about Peter and Belinda's products. They are amazing. If you haven't tried their inks, you definitely need to. Next up is Tamar Wine Red. I wrote red twice in the name. It only has red once. Got ahead of myself. This is a beautiful wine color. Then we have Tasmanian Devil. Do you guys have a favorite fountain pen ink color? In my planners, black is my favorite. I pretty much predominantly plan in black, but in my journals, anything goes. I love all the colors. Oh, that's a shimmer. We're skipping that one. This is Styx Valley. So I was curious if you guys have a favorite color. Do you have like a signature color? I have a signature color. It's kind of a fuchsia pink color that I feel like is my, just my signature color to use in a pen. Oh, that's very pretty. It's a beautiful green. I can't wait to see what these look like when they're dry, because that's when they'll really shine. Next we have Oak Wood. The next one is my favorite name. It's Waddle. I think it's so funny. This one is called Waddle. It's also a really awesome color. I love like an orange or yellow ink, and this is a great version of that. It would be a great highlighter fountain pen color. And the next one is Tasmanian Pink Robin. This is the only one I think that I actually owned from their original version of these. So next we have Cradle Mountain. I was really intrigued by this ink in the swatches online, so I'm really interested to see how it looks on the Cosmo Air Light paper, how it dries. So it is sort of like a grayish, purplish, blackish color. I think it would be a really good alternative to black, which is why I wanted it, because I thought it would be a nice black alternative in my fountain pens. So that is Cradle Mountain, and now we're going to go back and do the shimmers. So the first shimmer we have, look at all that shimmer. I hope that's showing up on the camera. This is Queenstown Gold, and look at that. I think this would be phenomenal for art or for playing with some of my dip pens, because I do have quite a collection of dip pens. But it's such a fun, awesome color. Now my water is definitely going to be sparkly. And then we're going to skip down here. This is Icy Great Lakes, and you can see the shimmer in there as well. Just chock full of shimmer. Now, most of my shimmer inks I put in TWSBI Ecos because I find that they always behave with shimmer inks. They're an inexpensive pen, so if for some reason I had to take it apart and I messed it up because there was a clog, I wouldn't feel too bad, but I've actually never had an issue with that. I find that they clean out really easily, and I find that they behave really nicely with shimmer inks. So that's my go-to pen for shimmer inks. However, I got a little spot there. However, I am actually going to be putting in this video this ink, the Snowy Mountain Sunset. We're going to be putting that in a pen, and it's not a TWSBI. This is Autumn Morning, and it has, I mean, look at that, chock full of gold. I'm actually gonna shake it a little bit just to mix it up. I don't shake my bottles when I'm filling my pens because it can make air bubbles, and you don't want an air bubble in your pen. But with the samples, especially for just swatching, it's a little faster than rolling it in your hand, trying to get it to mix up. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think doing some art with this would be so pretty. I mean, that is an autumn morning. I grew up near the Ozarks, and the trees change color, and autumns are just amazingly beautiful, and that reminds me so much of that. And then last but not least is Snowy Mountain Sunset, and this is the one that I'm most excited about because it is the one that I wanted from the moment they shared. Look at how pretty this shimmer is. It's just this pretty funky color, and I am all about funky colors. My favorite watercolors are weird and funky. My favorite fountain pen inks are weird and funky. And this one was speaking my name as soon as I saw it. So we're going to swatch it out, and then I'm actually going to fill a pen with it. And we're going to do a little writing sample of it too. We're going to go right over that line that I accidentally got the blop. I'm putting this pretty heavy, so it's going to take a little bit to dry, but I really want to see the effects that we get, so I want to make it pretty wet. It won't be that wet when we write, but I want to see kind of what happens. But isn't that the coolest looking color? Just from looking at it wet, you can tell what a cool color it is. It's like a pinky lilac with some black tones and some gold flecks. Oh, so pretty. And then since we got them, we're going to swatch out these two. I don't have them written down. Do I have a pen that has ink in it? I'm just going to write these down real quick. Fisher. Really terrible handwriting. I apologize. All right, let's start with this. It also has beautiful shimmer in it. They definitely know how to do shimmer. You definitely get the full shimmery effect with their inks, which is phenomenal. It's awesome if you like to write with them, but it's also awesome if you just like to art with them, because you can get some really cool effects. And then this one also has shimmer in it. If you can see it there, it's kind of mixing as I turn it. I'm gonna shake it up real quick, just kind of mix it up. Hopefully I'm picking up some of the shimmer and that I mixed it well. I can see some on the edges, so we did get some. My water glass that I'm rinsing my pen in has this beautiful shimmer on the top of it. It's probably not going to come through on the camera, but I can see it floating in the distance. All right. So those are the inks, and obviously they are wet right now because I did lay down quite a bit of ink, but you can already see some of the sheening coming through, some of the shading coming through. So I am actually going to let this sit, and then once it's dry, we will come back and check these out. And then we are actually going to fill up a pen with the Snowy Mountain Sunset and do a little writing sample. All right, so all of the inks are dry, so we're going to check out these swatches. Before we do that, I did want to mention that the Bay of Fires, which is this one, and the Tamar Wine Red, which is this one, they looked really similar to me in the swatches, and they both had a green sheen, which I wasn't expecting. So I thought I might have accidentally swatched the same one twice. So I went back and I re-swatched both of them underneath, so that's why there's like this little extra swatch. And I also swatched them on Tomoe River paper, and they are very similar, but they're not the same color. So I was just surprised because of the green sheen. I didn't think that Tamar Wine Red had the green sheen, but I re-swatched them and they are similar, but they're also different. So I just wanted to share that because I added to the swatching off camera. So I'm gonna pick this up, I'm gonna turn it over, and we're gonna check out this side first. So we have the Queenstown Gold, which has, I mean, phenomenal gold shimmer in it. And then we have Leatherwood Honey, which I absolutely love. I'm a big fan of brown fountain pen inks, and this is a yellowish brown, and so I really like that. And this is Bass Straight, which has this pretty red sheening on it. The camera is picking that up for you. And then we have Icy Great Lake, which has a more subtle shimmer to it. It's really pretty. I think I'm going to use this color in the winter. It reminds me of winter and snow. Oh, so pretty. And then we have the Bay of Fires and the Tamar Wine Red. Now I'm going to pull them up close and hopefully that will help you guys see. But you can see that they both have this green sheen, but the color is different. The Bay of Fires is red and the Tamar is a kind of burgundy, a wine red color, and so it has a lot more purple in it, whereas this is more red. And I hope that's picking up on the camera so you guys can see it. And then we have Snowy Mountain Sunset here with this amazing shimmer. That's what we're going to fill my pen with, and I am in love with this ink. It is one of the most unique inks I've seen in a long time, and I just think it is the absolute most perfect color, so I'm very excited about that. And then we have Azure Kingfisher. This has a ton of shimmer in it and a lot of colors going on. You have blue with some red sheen, and then you have the gold shimmer that has kind of a green gold tint to it. Really pretty. You won't get quite that much dramatic shimmer on these shimmers when you're using them with your pen, because you're not laying down as much ink as I lay down with my automatic pen. But I did want to definitely share it with you guys in its full glory so you could see all of its potential in case you use dip pens or you paint with it and things like that. So this is Tasmanian Devil, which is a super dark black color. It's really pretty. It doesn't really have sheen, but it has these sort of color variations in it that pop out. And then we have Autumn Morning with that beautiful shimmer. We have Styx Valley, which has some sheening in a red color, but it's not as dramatic as some of the other sheenings. Then we have Oakwood. Let me flip this so I can hold that better. Then we have Oakwood, and Oakwood does have sheening also, if you can see that. Also not as dramatic, and it's kind of a brownish gold sheen color. It's a beautiful sort of purpley mauvey color. And we have Waddle, which I think is such a cute name and such a pretty color. And we have Tasmanian Pink Robin, which I love. We have Cradle Mountain, which is the other full bottle that I got, and I really like this color. I'm so glad that I picked it. It's a lot more purple than I anticipated, but I love purple, and I think it's a really good alternative to just a generic blue or black in your pen for your planner or your journal. And then lastly, we have this Huon Midwinter Festival, which is a sort of charcoal gray with gold shimmer, and it has this sort of unique edging to it. Not like a sheen, but it has these different colors, like a taupey color that kind of comes out of it on the edges. So pretty. I love this collection. I think it is so pretty. It's such a nice variety. Obviously the Azure Kingfish and the Tassie Season, those were not part of this collection. The rest of them are. I think it's a really pretty collection. And then just so you guys can see it, I wanted to share, this is Tomoe River paper. So I'm gonna lift it up so you guys can see the color. That is the Bay of Fire, where you can see that red. And then this one is the Tamar Wine Red, which has more of a burgundy color to it. I hope that that's really showing up on the camera, the difference, because they are similar, but they're also quite different. If I had to pick one of the two, I would probably pick the Tamar Wine Red. I really like the wine red tone of it, but Bay of Fires is really pretty too. Bay of Fires would be a great color for Christmas cards. For addressing and writing Christmas cards, it would be perfect for that because you've got the red and then the green sheen. It looks very holiday to me. So those are the inks from the Tasmania collection that we swatched out, but now we're going to fill my pen. So I'm actually going to scoot this aside, and we are going to fill my Opus 88 Demonstrator. I have already taken it apart because I cleaned it. I had the same pink ink in it for a really long time. It was sort of a fuchsia pink color. And so I took it apart and I cleaned it, and we are going to fill it with the Snowy Mountain Sunset. And then we are going to write with it so we can see the difference in writing with this ink versus swatching it out with my automatic pen, just so you can kind of see how it will write. So I'm just gonna kind of spin it around. You can see all that beautiful shimmer and those colors. This is such a fun ink. Now, this pen is an eyedropper pen, so it comes with an eyedropper. It's glass, so to be a little careful with it. And it does have a valve at the bottom that you can close to turn off the ink so it won't keep pushing it through the feed. I have it open right now since we're going to be filling it and writing with it. And all you do is put your eyedropper, ooh, that's a full bottle. Put your eyedropper in and squeeze in some of the ink and then drop it in. Since it's so full, I'm gonna do this in small doses. I don't want to overflow this bottle when I add the ink dropper in there. I do have some plastic fillers and also some syringes that I use a lot of times too. And you can definitely use those instead of using this little eyedropper. So that's all we're gonna put in there. I'm gonna rinse out my eyedropper real quick. And I'm gonna stick the lid back on this so I don't knock it over. One thing I will say, if you swatch out the shimmer inks from Van Dieman's, and this happens with some other inks too, but I've noticed it a lot with the Van Dieman inks, if you swatch them out heavy, like I do with an automatic pen, some of that shimmer will come off on your fingers if you rub on it. But I found when I have it in a pen, that's not the case. It doesn't really rub off in the same way. I think it's the amount of shimmer that my automatic pen picks up. It lays kind of like a top surface layer on there. So now my pen is filled with that beautiful ink, and I'm going to put the cap on it, and I'm going to let gravity do its thing and get it to go down to the feed. And then we are going to do a little writing sample with it, and then we will be done. Okay, so we are going to do a little writing sample. Ignore the writing that's already on here. My sister had tested a pen that I actually shared with you guys that was from Gold Spot Pens, and so I was showing it to her, so she was testing it out. But we're going to use the same page. This is a Stub Nib. I find that Stub Nibs perform the best with shimmer inks just because there's a lot more space on them for the ink to kind of disperse. I'm gonna write down, oops, wrong box. I'm gonna write down the name. I love this pen. It is a bigger pen in diameter, so if you have small hands, it may not be a great pen for you. But for me, it feels like I'm writing with a chunky crayon, like a little kid, and I just absolutely love it. And I love that it's a demonstrator, so you can see the ink in there. So I'm going to just do some little lines so we can check this out and see how it looks once it dries. Let me write Tasmania and put my lid back on. Interestingly, it kind of coordinates with the ink that she used out of a different pen. There it is wet, and we're going to come back and we're going to check it out once it has dried. Now this is the color and the shimmer that it had when I used my automatic pen. I don't expect that much shimmer in it when I'm writing with it with my pen. I don't think it's going to lay out down that much, and a lot of times the more you use it, the more that shimmer will come out of the nib, but I can see some of it already as it's drying. So we're going to let it dry for just a second and then we will check it out. I think it is such a pretty color. So it is pretty well dry, and I wanted to pull it up so you guys could see it up close. You can see the shading that it has, and then I'm hoping that you can see some of that shimmer. It's a little bit hard to pick up on camera with my pen just because it doesn't lay down quite as much, but I'm getting shimmer particles in person. I can see it on all of the heavy strokes where I let the pen kind of rest. So if I were to be journaling and I decided that I wanted to draw a heart and color it in, and write that I love this ink. When that dries, we're going to get a little bit more of the shimmer in that heart because I laid down more ink there. I don't want it to lay down this much shimmer, the amount that I get on my samples on my writing, because I don't want the whole word to be shimmery. I just want a little bit of a sparkle so that when I'm journaling, you can see that sparkle on the page. So pretty. And then I thought we would just write on Tomoe River paper as well. This is Cosmo Air Light paper. So we'll do a little writing over here too. Just so you guys can see the color difference. I find that the colors on the Cosmo Air Light paper are a little bit more vibrant than what they come off on the Tomoe River paper. I love both. What was I gonna write? This is 52 GSM. So there you have it on the Tomoe River paper, and there is some of that sparkle coming through on some of the letters. And then this is a comparison between the two, so you can kind of see the color difference on the Cosmo Air Light versus the Tomoe River paper. I really like this color. I think it is super fun and unique, and I'm excited to use it in my 88 demo because I'm always looking for a fun, unique ink to put in this because of the really wide stub that it has, and it just makes for some really fun journaling when I have a nice, fun ink in there to journal with. Oh, so excited. I really like this. Let me scoot that aside real quick. That is my share of the Van Dieman's Tasmania Collection. So like I said, I got 2 full bottles of these, the Snowy Mountain Sunset and the Cradle Mountain. And then I got samples from their Wilderness series and their Tassie Seasons. And then here are all 14 inks in this collection. These are the last two that I had the full bottles of that I'm going to save for a giveaway. So that's the full line there that I got samples of from Van Dieman's, and the two full bottles that I got. Like I said, I do have a code, justscribble, so you can save 25% on your order. Definitely take a look at my other videos for some of the other inks I have from other collections of theirs as well before you go on and shop, so you can take advantage of the sale code and take advantage of your shipping prices. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below and I will definitely get back with you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.